right, family members, what y'all going by tonight?
I'm going by Yoshi.
I'm Mo.
Yoshi and Mo. All right, Yoshi and Mo, put your right hand up and your left hand on your word, wherever you decide your word is.
Okay.
Hold it just like that. Do you solemnly agree we have your permission to post this across all of our social media platforms?
Yes.
Is there anything, and I do mean anything, that's off limits you don't want us to ask you about?
I don't think so.
I think so.
If we do ask you something that's off limits, you understand that you can say no or pass. Let's move on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool, let's get it.
Okay, literally is no pressure. I'm your host, Bang 'em Bud.
It's your girl, just came for real.
And we got some special guests. They already introduced themselves, so tell everybody where y'all originally from.
Ladies first.
Oh, I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, that's where I am from.
He must be a special person.
I mean, he grew up in Marietta.
Ah,
Here you go.
born in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Virginia, Eastern Shore Park, just a little peninsula off of Chesapeake. So.
Okay, I'm from PG.
Okay.
Hey, come on,
You
GMB.
like a military guy or something?
No, people think that, but I'm not. You know.
When you hear Virginia, you should automatically
Okay.
go to
Wow.
the...
I was thinking different, but okay.
Yeah.
That worked.
Oh, like Virginia Beach.
I mean, a lot of people in the military, they always say they was in Virginia. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what they equated to. Okay, did y'all grow up both of y'all parents?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And what's y'all relationship like with y'all dads?
Oh, my dad is deceased. He passed away in 2002. So it's been, how old is my age? 22, so it's been 21 years.
Y'all real close?
Very close.
And I guess give me your best memory of your dad.
It was it's awkward because I really didn't understand what he said then, but I understand it now. So I was a teenager and got to liking boys, of course. And, my dad, he was like putting me up on game, but he basically said, that no man is ever going to love you as much or like your father will. And I didn't understand that then, right? Because I was a teenager. What the hell? That's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it now. Just, over the course of adulthood, things that have happened. So I get it.
So you had a good daddy.
I did.
It's just that unconditional. Like, I think your husband can love you like that, but it's like, as long as you don't do me wrong.
It's a different kind of love.
So.
it's a different kind of love. I'll say that part. But yes, that is true. It's just a different kind of love.
Okay, what about you?
So for me, I grew up around my dad. Our relationship isn't as tight, but at the end of the day, it's still my dad. We communicate, not as often as I like, but it happens, when it happens. We have great memories. It's nothing negative really I can say about him. But he was there. It's just that I had to be the man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that really makes sense, but
Like the man of the house?
like him and my mom, they kind of had their issues, and they had their issues of splitting up, getting together,
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of those things to where I didn't want that to be me, and I had to be more of a better man, and again, nothing really negative to say towards him because he was there for me. It's just that I feel he could have been better. So again, yeah.
Like more present.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you took over, he's the man of the house.
Pretty much.
You took out the trash.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, I guess give me the most traumatic experience y'all had as kids.
Oh man.
I'll let you go first.
I had quite a few, but I'll give you one. As a kid, just like any other, family, black family, you know, growing up poor. Everyone started from the bottom. So, as far as the memory go, God, I have so many. Which one can I touch down on?
Traumatic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
He's like,
Well-
I'm here.
My bad.
I'm in the trauma box.
Losing my grandmother, that was really hard for me. You know, having to go over her home every pretty much day after school and have her raise me in such a way, you know, and having her taken away from me at such a young age. And by young, I mean 16, 17, I believe that's what it was. You know, it was really, really hard on me. If I could bring her back, I feel that as far as what I have going on in life today, I feel a few things may have changed, but I feel I will be much better in life because I know she just knew what to say, what to do. So yeah, I mean, as far as memories go, I feel that, how can I say this? You know, I was losing myself, you know, with her not being around, right? And it helped me become more of that man, is what I was telling you before. I'm not going to get emotional right now. So that's it for me. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna try to.
Right.
Say
So
all
now mine's is tearjerker too, because I would have to say, probably for me, even though I was grown, I wasn't grown. Like I was 19 when my dad passed away, and my grandma and my aunt, they both worked at these hospitals, and I grew up in these hospitals. I knew the hospitals, you know, front and back, and I just remember, you know, I saw my mom carrying my dad on her back, and he just kind of slid to the floor, and, you know, he kept talking, and it sounded like mumble jumbo, but then when I got up on him, you know, he was saying, Father, I repent, and all of these things that was happening. And I just remember, you know, calling one of my friends, because I had my daughter. You know, my daughter wasn't even a year old yet. She was 6 months. And I told my friend, you know, the ambulance came to get my dad, and my mom left, but the ambulance hadn't left. They were still outside our house. And I just remember telling my friend, I was like, I need you to watch, you know, Maya. I gotta go to the hospital. If something happens to my dad and I'm not there, you know, I won't forgive myself. And I got to the hospital, and I couldn't find anybody. And it was insane. I grew up, you know, playing in the same hospital, and I couldn't find anybody. And I was calling everybody's phone. Nobody was answering the phone. And at one point, my younger cousin picked up the phone, and I just heard my mom. She was screaming in the background. And I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what. And I just was in the parking lot just bawling. And all of a sudden, I was like, you know, Mom, get it together. Get it together. You got to get it together. You got to get to your mom. Whatever is happening, you got to be there. And I stopped crying, and I turned around and walked right in the damn door. Crazy, right? I was standing out there the whole time, lost. And I just remember going through the door, and my mom was like, he's gone. And I didn't know what she meant. Like, how? Doesn't make sense. My dad was perfectly healthy. What do you mean he's gone? And, you know, they took me to a room, and of course he was hooked to, you know, all these machines. And I didn't understand it. And I went to my dad, and I talked to him, and I was like, you know, you can't do this. I don't know what you're doing. You can't do this. I just had this baby. You know, he needs you. Mom needs you. Maya needs you. And I was holding his hand, and I felt him squeeze my hand back. I don't care what nobody said. I felt him squeeze my hand. And I thought, you know, from that hand squeeze, I was like, he good, you know? And I turned around to walk out the door, and I turned to look at him and I saw his chest go up and down and then he flatlined. And that will forever stay with me. To be 19 and see something like that happen, especially from a perfectly healthy man, and that happens. And, you know, we didn't get a chance to grieve because my dad, he was an arson investigator, so he was kind of like a police officer and in the fire department at the same time. So when the call went out over the radio for an ambulance to be at our address, they actually beat us to the hospital. Like the chiefs and the people that had worked with him, and everybody was just like out there in the hallway. It's like we couldn't take that moment to huddle up with each other. We couldn't do it. So.
Damn. So it felt less like support. It was more like a suffocation.
Yeah, it was, you know. Even previously, not this current marriage, but my previous marriage, the fire department, they actually, one of my friends back home, she went to the fire department and told them I was getting married. Some kind of way, they found my dad's original badge. They just happened to have it. 20-something years later, they had it. And, you know, I just remember her coming up to me at the rehearsal dinner, and she was like, Mo, I gotta give you something, and I really don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen when I give it to you, but I'm trying to do something nice. And I was looking at her like, okay, you know, get it to me, girl. What you got? You know, some chocolates. What you got? And when she presented it to me, I lost it. I lost it because it wasn't a replica. You know, it was really his badge. It was dusty, you know, and the fact that they just so happen to have it, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
It was
a
insane.
good gift, though.
Yes, it was a good gift. It was a great gift.
Okay, so did you handle it well? Like, did you lash out at other people like when he passed?
I dealt with a lot, right? Because you know they tell us there's 7 stages of grief or whatever. And my dad, he was really strict. I wasn't allowed to do a lot, even as a grown woman with a child, you know. So at first, you know, obviously I was sad. And then I had those moments like, yeah, ain't nobody here to tell me what to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I ain't got nobody to boss me around, right? And then it went from, damn, I don't have nobody to tell me what to do. I'm lost. I don't know what to do. What do I do? You know, but lashing out, being angry at other people, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just shut people down, you know, like, don't even, what's the point of lashing out, you know? I get it, but just ignore, you know, and it's hard because, again, you're still breathing, you know? You don't want to, for me, I wouldn't want to spark up anything extra. My head already hurt from that, you know, like, again, you know, I had, you know, several situations, even with my son's mother. She passed in 2020, and, you know, lashing out, you know, so many people was coming at me in such a negative way, you know, and it's just one of those things to where you hear them, but I mean, for me, I just kept silent. I know who they really are now saying these type of things, you know.
You became okay with being the bad guy?
As far as
As you said, people were basically coming at you sideways after that.
Not. You know, my son lost his mom, and when I say people, you know, it was, you know, females in general. You know, something like this happening, you know, to a kid, right, losing his mom, and for another female to just come in the picture instantly afterwards, or hit my phone and like, oh, I want to be his mom now, and all this type of stuff. You know, to me, that's a negative way. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know? So instead of just lashing out, you don't say, you know, like, I know who you really are now. You know, I can't rock with that. You know, so
that's ugly. Would that be attractive?
somebody was like,
I want to be his mom now. Like, if you got a child.
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of good, but it's the wrong, it's like
Wrong
the wrong
time.
time to say it.
Yeah.
Just let your actions
Just
show
do
it,
it,
like,
right.
instead of just like, yeah, that's a little weird to just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a quote that say, when it doesn't bother you anymore like it used to, it's peace. So do y'all agree with that?
Yeah,
And give me an example besides
my ex-husband. I mean, just being honest, like, you know, we had this cycle of, you know, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. And me as a woman, I never thought about it until one day when I thought about it. I was like, bruh, like, we break up and he be gone for like 3 or 4 months and I don't hear from him. And I
Wow.
never question it. He just come back, and with me wanting to make the marriage work, I just think, oh, we're just making the marriage work. And then after, I was like, bro, that's so dumb. I don't know what he out here doing, who he
Right.
doing it with, and why all of a sudden he want to come back home and make the family work. So then I just got to the point where, one day he was like, I was trying to open my business. And while I was focusing on my brand and my business, he was out here liking photos on the internet. And I'm like,
that.
Okay.
You?
huh?
Of you or
No, he was liking other women.
okay.
And they were nothing like me. You know, they didn't appear to be like me. They didn't appear to be classy. They looked like hot ghetto trash or whatever. And I was like, okay, this must be what he liked, because we are at 2 totally different ends of the spectrum. And it's like, how can you focus on your brand and your business and your spouse is out here wilding out? And, you know, I went to him because we just so happened to be together but separated. And I went to him and I was like, you know, why do you keep doing all this? Why do you say you want to be with me, but then you're out here doing this? It doesn't make sense. And he looked at me and he was like, poop changed. I didn't know if I could cuss. I ain't gonna cuss. But he said, crap changed. And I literally felt like my heart hit the floor. And I just remember walking out the door and I was talking to my mom, and, you know, she took me out to eat for my birthday, and she was talking to me, and I was like, no, Mom, it's done. I was like, it's done. He just told me stuff had changed, and
Especially when you had enough, you know, like, and same, you know, when it's a cycle, you know, when you feel, you know, it's always happening and all that type of stuff, you get tired of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just like her, just like me, when you have enough, that's it. You know, you only can take but so much. You know, you understand? So, I feel you.
I mean, well, I could only take so much from him.
But at the end of the
Because
day,
it's kind of like if somebody's not bringing something to the table, right?
Making it worth it.
Right.
Exactly.
There's no point in fighting.
like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, at this point.
Right.
So did you say that to say you could take more from him?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did she?
She know about you.
Oh,
Yeah. Did she say that to say that she could take more from you?
can you?
I mean, I just think we're different.
We,
That and this is not the same. It's totally different.
So it would be worth it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 8-year-old son,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who I get it. You know, I feel like
just,
that's the connection that me and our son, like, I never even refer to our son as his son, because I feel like I get him. Like, to lose your mom at what, 5?
mm-hmm.
To lose your mom at 5, and he's so strong, right? He's so resilient, and he was very accepting of me. You know, I never, when I came in the picture, I never got attitude from my son. I never got I don't want to stay with you. I don't want to be, he never did anything like that to me to make me feel like I can't be with you. So whereas with my ex-husband, we were married for 4 years. I never laid eyes on his children. Never seen them, never talked to them,
That
never
is crazy.
FaceTime them, nothing.
That's it.
And then here comes this guy, and
Mr.
he like, here you go. You want a boy? Here you go. I'm like, what I'm gonna do with it? You know? But this situation is totally different because I feel like we have more invested, and it's not that easy to just walk away.
And not really to bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up if you don't mind.
I don't even know what you're gonna say.
Well, as far as you know, the son part, you know, as far as the age difference of it all, you know, she was actually pregnant, right?
Who?
You. And
When?
you
My
had
daddy
the-
died?
No, your son. You lost your son.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you can tell me that story. I'll let you do it if you don't mind. But it syncs up to where
It does.
like everything is lined up perfect, you
Mhm.
know. And I'll let you if you know.
So he's referring to, I had an ectopic pregnancy, which I never had experienced ever in my life, and it was.
For the slow ones in here,
That's
meaning
when
me.
that
What's
is
that?
when
The
you
tube?
are pregnant in your tube, so
Okay.
the baby is not in the uterus, and they I was almost out of my first trimester.
Mm.
They had to take my baby. They had to take my tube, and the crazy thing was, you know, when I met Chris, his son is right around the same age as my son would have been. So you have a woman who lost a son and a son who lost a mom. So I tell him all the time that I don't think he picked me. I think our son picked me for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like my son had to sign off on that whole thing.
Okay.
Like, just period. Because my son is just like, some days he be right, and I don't even want to tell him he right, because it's like, you 8, bro, what do you know? But when I pick him up from school, like, he be giving me the business for real. Like, I picked him up one day, he was like, and he don't care who's there, like, an office full of people, and he was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh my God, nothing. Why? He's like, you just look like you tired. Shit, let me put my eyelashes on. Like, it was the most, right? So I just say he picked me for him, you know, because I get it, and we have our moments where we cry together, you know, and I feel like
You too, or you
not
and
to,
your son?
yeah, we cry
Oh,
together,
yeah.
me and the son, me and my son.
Okay.
I feel like I can relate to my son, no offense, in ways that his dad can't,
Mm-hmm.
because his dad hasn't lost a parent, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But I have. And, you know, my son is like, I try to give him speeches, right? I try to give him the speeches they gave me. Oh, your mommy's an angel. I don't want my mommy to be an angel. God dang it, son. I don't want my daddy to be an angel. But this is the talk I got. I'm giving it to you. It ain't working.
I'm trying to share this.
It's not working. But I allow my son to talk about his feelings. If he want to cry, he can cry.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he wants to do, you know.
Hugs need hugs too.
Yeah, Chris has made mention to, you know, somebody in his past not wanting pictures of his mom, our son's mom. I don't mind. I don't even see
She
how
was just straight evil.
I don't even see how somebody can fix their mouth to tell a child you can't talk about your mom or you can't post pictures of your mom. Like, that's crazy, but
That's dope though. Come on, something found y'all. That's cute.
Okay, let's talk about some internet stuff. I don't know if y'all seen the video where Blueface was with Krishan, and they getting an interview, and she told the guy who they was interviewing them, like, shut the fuck up.
oh wow.
Oh, I didn't get that
I
part.
didn't see that one.
And so what do y'all think about that? Like, let's just say your
Man.
wife told me to
Jeez.
shut the fuck up. Do you feel like you should tell her to chill? If I don't, it's not even disrespectful.
Definitely, yo, we on camera right now. You need to chill. Like, that interview, I do think that she was just out of pocket all the way. That's just my opinion. Like, he's pretty much telling her to chill, but yet she's still up in his face and holding him. And it's like, yo,
That's the same
bro,
one where
stop
she
touching me.
where they was putting her out the studio.
No, it's not that.
Oh, that's not that
Oh,
one?
okay.
Okay, okay. Well, that's the one I was referring to. But either way, I'm pretty sure she was wrong.
What you think?
What should my man tell me chill?
Yeah.
It
Cause he just
depends.
sat there and looked at her. He didn't say nothing because the guy was like, "You don't tell me to shut the fuck up." He started going back and forth,
It
and he
depends.
never said nothing.
Because he's tired of her. I mean, and that's just what
Right.
it
And
is.
he probably disassociated. Like,
Yeah.
man, that it is. Whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm over this. But it just depends on the situation.
Because at
If
some
I'm
point,
right,
she's her own brand, right?
yeah.
So he's his brand, she's her brand, and then they're a brand together. But if he's already checked out of the relationship, then they two separate entities, right?
And that's
So
how
he
you
ain't
get
even, yeah, he ain't. That's you. You're not gonna get invited back to the cookout,
Right.
you know. So
I'm gonna keep working.
Okay, what's like red flag behavior that in a relationship that's like non-negotiable?
Wow.
yeah, baby, what?
Shit.
Why you turning to him like that?
Because I want to know.
I'm cracking up.
What you got?
What is red flag?
What you got?
Wow.
Has she done it? You can say some examples if she done it and she ain't know it was like red flag.
Well, I think, this is something that, I've learned and, I have to get used to. A woman, they're gonna say what they want to say or have, they're gonna get their word out. They're gonna get the last word, if anything. And in this particular case, I'm speaking on the last word. For me, in the beginning, that was sort of like, that's a red flag. She don't want me to say or get the last word or whatever the case may be. But, in a relationship, in marriage, and all that, I learned that, you have to get to a point where you understand your partner.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all about getting the last word. Hearing them out, and it's not what you said, taking a loss or whatever. It's you want this thing to continue. You want this to grow. You're learning, so for me, it's not what you say now a red flag. It's just sometimes you just have to sit back and you shut up sometime or whatever the case may be. The man should not have the last word. The woman should not have the last word. It should be an equal type feel. You guys, you have your discussion and you leave there at the end. Did she have the last word? Whatever. Cool. The important thing is you grow from it. Did you get anything from the whole conversation or whatever the case may be? It don't have to be a red flag. You don't have to fight all the time or whatever the case may be of who's getting that last word or whatever the case may be. And that was one of my biggest issues in the beginning, of the relationship here. So that's pretty much what I have.
So we have been together a year and married 6 months. We got married after knowing each other, what, 4 months? Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say there's an age difference between us on top of the fact that I know things that I've dealt with in my past. So when I first met him and we would have like little slick arguments about this or that, I would just always tell him, that's not a deal breaker for me. That's not a deal breaker for me. Because I feel like I've been in worse, right? Mm-hmm. And, I understand my husband. And I think I understand him more than he understands himself most of the time. And I get it, it's just trying to bring certain things out of him. Like, I'm a better communicator than he is. Just hands down, I got my own TV shows and I'm a talker,
she
right?
Talks.
He's not a talker. So the crazy thing is, he's a Libra, and so is my mom, and my mom drives me insane. Mm-hmm. So I married my mom, quick. Basically, in male version, because he drives me insane too. But they don't like people to talk. They can shut down. They can do certain things.
I'm gonna say what I got to say. If I gotta write it down, you're gonna take me and read this.
Well, okay, I need you to start writing it down because you're just not. He's not good with words at times, and it's okay. Sometimes it's okay because them other times I be like, "What the hell is he trying to say?"
You understand?
And it's not a red flag. Normally, it would be a red flag, right? but I love my husband and I want my marriage to work.
She said,
So
but
I said that.
because
I'm
the
being
man.
patient.
I'm just messing.
I'm being patient with my husband because I know all of this stuff is new to him. Like everything. You just
Definitely.
you just got full custody of your kid, and you got full custody of your kid through an unfortunate circumstance. So you're trying to navigate that. You're trying to be a dad, and now you're a husband on top of being a dad. And now you got 2 stepdaughters, and we got dogs, and we got this. Like, it's a lot, and I get it. I'm just trying to teach him to breathe. Just woosah a little bit. Just take a chill pill.
Just again,
He might need an edible.
where I'm from.
Girl, I got a good one. Oh my goodness.
Don't mention edibles around.
Okay, yeah, we not gonna.
I mean, a bite, man. I'll tell you
we not
No,
gonna talk
she-
about our edible story.
She got plenty of them. She got one that's really, really funny.
That's not really funny.
She pissed on herself or something?
Nope.
What's that?
Nah, I ain't pee on myself.
Oh no.
Oh, she
Oh
did
wait. No, she did
I
actually.
didn't pee on myself. I
I
threw
think
up.
you did.
I might have tinkled.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, you ain't gonna put me out there like I just stood there and peed on myself. Okay, so first of all, let me just say this. Who in the hell thinks that a gas station edible packs a punch? Nobody. You gonna think it's weak, right? Because it's coming out the gas station. They ain't certified. You know, they don't do this.
You
This
got
just a
that
little.
Delta 8.
That's what it was.
Mhm.
That is
It's
exactly what it
strong.
was. And I didn't know what it was, nor did I read it or read up on it.
Yeah,
So I
it
took one. And I was like, man, this came from the gas station. I don't need more than one.
You ate the whole candy?
Oh, they were gummies. So I ate 5.
Oh my god.
I ate 5.
She is something.
I ate 5.
Popping them like Skittles.
Oh my
Right, because I was
gosh.
thinking they're weak. They're weak. Nothing's gonna
Please
happen,
tell
right?
the story. Oh my
So
god.
we get to where we
That's
go?
what
We
I was
go to the
just
post
about.
office, right? We're finna go out of town, so we got the dogs in the car. We go to the post office, and the dog poops in the car, right? So I think all of the excitement of what was going on in the car activated the edible, because everybody is screaming, and I'm like, damn, she really just did that. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with me? I should be mad, right? Everybody else is mad.
Yeah,
Next thing I know, we're driving down Camp Creek Parkway. Camp Creek Parkway, it's kind of long on its own, right? Drive it high.
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, what is wrong? I start praying in the car. I was like, God, I got the most precious things in the car. Please just let me get where we're going. Please, God. Then he had 1 or 2. So he goes, you see Mickey Mouse going down the street? I'm like, what the hell? Where Mickey Mouse at?
I'm cracking.
The whole time the kids are in the back like, what the hell is happening? I drop off the dogs. I'm so paranoid at this point. I always take my dogs there. I'm thinking the dog people know I'm high. I'm trying to get the kids to tell the people the name of the dog because I can't figure it out. I'm like, bro, we gonna have to do the park and ride right here by the little dog thing because I'm sorry, I just can't drive no more.
Okay.
I don't even know how we found the car when we got back because I sure didn't remember where I parked it or even parking it. We get on the shuttle. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I can relax. It's okay to be high at this point. I can be high. I relax on the shuttle, and next thing I know, the hustle and bustle of the airport, you know, I'm forgetting my ID. The dude saying, ma'am, come back. You gonna need this. You gonna need this ID. I'm like, oh my God. We get through all of that. And next thing I know, I just start throwing up in the middle of the airport.
Oh no.
My son is trying to comfort me. He's like, Mom, are you okay? My daughter's like, ooh, I ain't touching her. Look at her, y'all. What's wrong with her? My other daughter told me, I think she's nervous because we flying at night. I got all these things happening around me,
Your
right?
kid's funny.
Right. And imagine having your kids talk shit about you and you can't defend yourself at all
Okay.
against nothing. That might be right. You probably right.
Right.
You kind of right. Could be right. Oh my God. It was horrible. I don't even remember getting on the plane, but my wonderful husband made sure to film it. So I would have this lovely momentum of the trip. He's got me on the plane looking like Radio. You seen the movie Radio? That's how I'm looking on the plane because I have on headphones to watch the TV, but I'm asleep. So you see the video of me like this.
With the headphones on.
I don't remember the flight. I don't remember the trip. We was only there for a day. I was so high. I was high the next day.
That's hilarious.
I didn't come down till we got back to Atlanta.
That is hilarious.
Oh
She
my
was
God.
out of it.
I have been
Where
sober
you get them
ever
gummies
since.
from?
She haven't ate an edible since.
I have not.
Edibolero.
Yeah, you can
Scared
try
straight.
one. Just
No,
one.
ma'am.
I mean, not even like a bite.
Nah.
Those things don't work for me.
Yes, they did.
They don't.
They
Well,
did.
she said it did, but
It
the
just didn't
first-
hit him like me.
the first time it ever happened, or I ever ate an edible, the guys told me that I was hanging out with at the time. They were like, you new to this, you might want to just chew half of it. And I chewed half of it because they was that strong or whatever. It was nothing. I was like, man, this ain't nothing. Shoot, give me the other half. Put the other half in, and nothing happened. So now it's like, they getting all in their happy phase. I want to be there too. Like, she's just give me another whole one.
Oh.
I get a whole one or whatever, and nothing's happening or whatever. So I'm slick scared,
Right.
because back then I was in the gym a lot, and I drank a lot of energy drinks and all that. And first time eating edibles and all that, I was scared. Will my heart do something crazy or whatever? But I was scared. But at the point, I was like, man, everybody having fun. Give me another one, And and nothing ever happened to me. So I just run around saying, you know what? Nah.
See,
They don't work on me. But she said it.
I mean, you asked me if I saw Mickey Mouse, baby.
I mean,
It
I
makes
saw
you
me.
like hallucinate living.
That's exactly what it does. That's exactly what it is.
No, for
I read it
real.
after I
Them
came back.
gummies.
The
No,
Delta.
I'm trying to take the gummies though. Like, I don't know. I got a gummy in my house. When I got it, it was like this big. Like my friends had already ate it before they came in town on the
Where you
plane
get 'em from?
too.
Yeah, she got
This
some
was back
calories.
in Maryland.
Oh.
Oh,
They got
that's
them. Yeah, they got them in Maryland, but it's like this big. I bit like half of that. When I tell y'all last night,
You
I
asleep.
was going. Nah, I was like, I was seeing mad stuff. I was working, going crazy. Like my creative juices was going crazy.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then I passed out.
Yep.
Like I was probably good for like 2
No,
hours.
man, you gotta get some. I'm not doing it.
Just
I'm
like
good.
one, just one.
Mm.
Let me give you one of these gummies, girl. You
One
gotta
more
be great.
place. Ocean City. Where about?
PG County.
Okay. We
Mm-mm.
going.
We can go, but I ain't getting it.
Call
My
me.
kids
I'm gonna get
ain't-
you something.
My kids ain't finna talk about me no more.
No, you're not gonna throw up no more. You learned. You just gonna bite it. Just a bite.
I just
one.
bit that one.
Nah, you ate a
she
lot.
like 6 of them.
That's hilarious. Though. That's a good one.
You tell a story like you're a comedian. Man.
She need to be a comedian.
Yeah, that was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was true too.
Okay, I guess we'll go with, at your lowest point, 2 things that you realize.
Ooh, that's good. Which lowest point?
Not everybody has your back the way
Yep.
Big facts.
you think that they would
That's number
or
one.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stop expecting certain things from people. Even at your lowest, you would think like, oh, they'll be here for me or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Someone told me, and I hope I said this right. Will your friends be there for you, or be there when you have bad problems or whatever to help you get rid of them or whatever? Are they your friends to help you get rid of your problems, or are they friends that would disappear when your problems come? Like when you figure out, those two, or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
deep down who you should be rocking with, or whatever the case may be, and let alone you shouldn't even deal with, people in general that just disappear when you are at your lowest.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the young lady said before, earlier, everybody's gonna be them or whatever. You just be you. If you know you're not that person or whatever, just be you. You can't get them, that same energy that they give you, because at the end of the day, you might take away your blessings or whatever. Stay true to you, and God will bless you. That's the way I see it.
Amen. Amen.
Okay, the longest time you let your partner think they got away with something.
Ha! You can answer that one.
I always let Chris think he get away with stuff. I just, like I said, I just been through so much. I just don't even bring it up. Like, I tell him all the time, you do stuff too, and he'll be like, what I do? You know what, bro, it ain't even, today's gonna be a good day, go to work, love you, bye.
You don't say it? Oh, no, man. That's good. That's grown. That's grown.
It's
perfect,
it's very hard. It's very,
She perfect.
it's very hard. Right?
Yeah,
It's very hard. He's aware that he's not perfect. He's aware that he is not without flaws. It's just that I feel like, number one, he's already a black man in America. The world's gonna get you, and I don't have to do that. And I feel like I said, I understand my husband better than he understands himself. And I know what his wants and his desires are. So I have to learn how to motivate him in such a way that I don't tear him down. Because he's not a communicator. And sometimes when he comes home and he's an ass, I know it's not me, right? It take a minute for me to figure out it ain't me.
Yes.
It take a minute, But I be like, nah, it's more to it because that's not his normal way of acting. So something has happened. If he's ever working and he get frustrated, I talk to him. I say, you know what? Hey, step away from it, take a breather, come back, and try it again.
It happens often.
But when he cussing himself out, that's when he do his best work. So I try not to, say it too much because I know when he cussing himself out, he ready to make a masterpiece. So.
Okay. That's good, girl.
Now I could just be like, but I don't give it to him. We just had that conversation in the car. The things that I've done and said to other people in the past.
Yeah.
I ain't never did it to Chris yet.
Not even yet. She's
Not yet.
So do you acknowledge that? Like, do you understand that within yourself? Like, oh, she could be way worse.
I believe it.
Thanks, baby.
I believe it. At the end of the day, and I'm not knocking anything what she just said. Is true. I feel that unlike her exes and whatever the case may be, even though I have my flaws and all that type of stuff,
You a prize too.
Yeah, he get that Easter speech all the time.
He like I'm lit.
He get that Easter speech all the time.
I'm just gonna say I'm Superman.
Okay.
I understand. I could be a headache at times or whatever the case may be. I acknowledge that. But at the end of the day, I know I'm Superman. Right? And I'm not tooting my own horn. Try not to.
You are, but
I'm trying not to.
Know yourself.
But yeah, I acknowledge it.
Y'all cute. What's y'all signs?
I'm a Scorpio. He's my mom.
Oh, you're Libra.
Yeah.
My man was Scorpio. Oh yeah, y'all are
person.
like that. Yeah, like kind of passive and could just let them.
Y'all all over the place.
Oh, that's what's up.
Mean. I'm just messing.
I know.
I'll let Kay do her thing.
Y'all cute. I just
Uh-oh.
This
This must be the round where they get you.
Nah, I'm just rooting for y'all. Like, I'm like, yeah. But I don't know, is there anything that our audience should know about y'all that we haven't touched on?
Like what y'all promoting, merchandise.
So I have my own media company. I have my own show. I really don't like to call it a podcast, but it can be because I convert it to a podcast as well.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show. I do it the second and fourth Thursdays on Status Network, Global Vision TV. I also have my own boutique, and I'm a writer. Yeah.
She got a lot of hits. She is truly.
Like books?
She the ish.
I write for magazines.
She
Nice.
got it going on. Me, I'm not as cool as her. I'm not. You know, I'm just a custom woodworker. You know, I like to
That's
tell
fine.
people, you know, I'm a builder for Jesus. You know,
Amen.
Jesus was a carpenter, right? And I feel that my masterpieces, as you may say, right?
Mhm.
I feel that they're taking me on such a level, not on her level just yet, but on such a level to where we're gonna bring each other. It's gonna get us even closer. I just say that. You guys can follow me if this is okay. At Yoshi Chipwood on Instagram. It's YOSHICHIPWOOD. Again, I'm a custom woodworker. I build things such as like custom closets, secret rooms, trapdoors. Oh man, if it's wood, if it's wood, you know, I got it. I do it. I can build a whole house, but I stick more into the whole custom, you know, the secret storages, shelving, tables.
Like carpet?
Huh?
You like carpet?
Now the thing about me, and again, she's the truth. I can do flooring, I can do carpets, I can do plumbing and electrical, but my you know specialty is wood. And you ask me, yeah, of course I could, but you know that's just not what I'm promoting, right? But to answer your question, yes.
You make shields?
Hmm?
Could you make a shield?
A shield?
Like out of wood?
Yes, yes, definitely. When you need it, I tell people all the time, I have it done. Give me a day.
I
Let
need
me
an
stop.
estimate.
Okay, one more question. The best decision y'all ever made?
Oh, right here,
That's what's up.
right here.
Yeah, I mean, so my other divorce was finalized, I believe, March 10th, something like that.
March
Of this year?
March 3rd at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
No, that was one of them was the hearing. I know what you're talking about. I was talking about the official. And we were going to Vegas anyway. So I just so happened to be talking to a girlfriend, and she was like, oh, I love each other. You like him, and he doing this, and you doing that. Y'all might as well get married. I was like, okay. So I called him, and I said, hey, since we're going to Vegas, you want to just go ahead and get married? He was like, I'm with it. I was like, don't play with me, because I look it up right now. He was like, no, look it up. So I go on Groupon.
Okay.
And they had a little marriage package for $30.
Yeah.
You paid a $50 officiant fee. We got us some cute little outfits off Amazon.
Let me tell you, she did it all. I'm not with the whole computer stuff and all that type of stuff. When she's on something, she's on it. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't do that type of stuff.
We just do that too. That's crazy.
But she's so quick with it.
I was scared. I almost didn't do it. Like when I was in there putting my dress and stuff on, I was scared, right? Because of what I had gone through in my previous situation. And I was allowing fear to talk me out of it. But, you know, once we were there, we wrote our vows to each other, and it was real cute. You know, he said like 4 lines to me. I said like 25. But, you know, same difference. I still felt the love in all 4 lines that he said.
It was a haiku.
Yeah, he's no songbird. And it was just, it's a lot. But it's fun. It's a fun journey, you know, because we're still getting to know each other as a couple, right? And now we're learning each other as husband and wife. Then we got a blended family, right? My oldest daughter, she's about to be 22. My middle child is 15, and now we got this 8-year-old. And he like, where do I fit in? You know, so it's a lot. And my daughter is convinced we should have a show at this point.
Y'all should. Because it's easy.
Yeah, blending a family, oh my God, that's like a journey by itself, right? On top of day-to-day
Just set the
careers.
cameras up.
Best decision.
Okay. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Literally, it's no pressure. Appreciate y'all coming through,
Thank you for
man.
having us.
We'll be right back with another interview.